Okay, today's video is all about the Googan baits company. Over the summer I've spent my own money. I'm not sponsored by. I do not own a share of their company. No, I feel like there needs to be a little honesty. You don't find too many reviewers doing a googan baits review from someone that does not own stock in the company. I mean, that fishing with flare guy, he owns stock in the company. Of course he's going to tell you it's a great bait. Otherwise you're not going to buy his bait. He's not going to get paid. Okay, here we go. Going to go through the hard baits first. The Kraken craw, whatever they call this darn thing. It's probably the name of something else. You know what? It's a crankbait. They get some fancy name for it. It's a crankbait. Now, they're crankbaits. I actually have two. One you've seen before. This one you've actually seen in another review for their Mondo kit. The one that you can purchase at Dick's Sporting Goods. Okay. The crankbait, that's catching bass, alright. We're happy with the crankbaits. They're frogs. Maybe I could do a little better. I'll be honest, I don't catch many bass on frogs, so a lot of times I buy them as a impulse and don't get anything going. Alright, so we've got purchased 2 frogs. I'm getting reactions, so we're on the right track with these frogs. So those are doing alright. They're pencil popper, in what they're calling a nightclub. It's caught a couple of bass this summer, so that's another one of their fishing lures. Their hooks are good and sharp. We're doing now, let's see, we've got their popper in bone. I just picked this up yesterday. We're doing, so far, we don't have any bass on it, but its action is worth the money, so we're not disappointed, okay? It's working just like the Rebel popper. However, you will notice these little ridges along the bottom of the belly. It's supposed to create a little more of a ripple effect, help it move a little better, distinguish it from other poppers. Alright? Pretty decent fishing lure. Now, if you go back through some of my other videos, you know I'm not just reviewing them and saying they're great. Alright? They're jerkbait. They call this the Scout. It's supposed to be a perch color with fall coming right around the corner. The perch are coming in and the bass are starting to strike for the perch. Yeah, this thing's got weight transferable sounds, and it casts pretty decent. It swims pretty decent, but you'll notice as you can't really see it, but when you are running your finger across the side of the bait like so, nice and gentle, you'll notice that it creates a weird low arch right about here, and it kind of makes this end, the tail end of the bait, have a triangular or a triangle type shape. I don't know if that was intended to make it move a little better as you're jerking it through the water. Again, color wise, you know, turn my light back on a little. It's got some good flash to it. It's got some good reflectiveness to it, so that if you were a bass and this thing came charging past, you'll probably, if you were a bass, you'd probably want to strike at that flash more than when it's standing still, looking almost like a disco ball with so much flash behind it. So, alright, you'll get a good reaction. Okay. So, now, like I've said in one of my other videos, with googan baits, you really have to evaluate the individual. Don't get one of those don't get do not get lured into one of their boxes, because they build a box for all their paid executives. That want you to buy their 5-inch dart, which, if you remember, I didn't like this. The reason being was the molding. Some of these were splitting apart at the seams where the two colors meet. I'm still going to give it its fair shot, its fair opportunity to catch bass. I'm not one of those reviewers that's going to spend all their money on a hot new item, try it a couple of times, and this is a hot new company, been around for a couple of years, but new when you compare it to like Rappler, new when you compare it to Rebel Pop R. Okay, now let's move on to some of the other baits that have impressed me. I believe I called that crankbait the kickin' craw. Oh, that's the kickin' craw. Oh, I suppose some of you guys want to know the color. The Bama bug. You can see what it looks like just by the picture. The picture is a 100% replica of what the bait inside all that plastic looks like. I don't recall if I caught any bass on these. Because I actually bought these like a year ago when I first discovered googan baits. It came as a 7-pack. I have 3 left. So either they were catching bass or I've been throwing away these things one at a time. Next, the bandito bug. The bass have been absolutely destroying these things. So, overall, I think the googan baits guys, they're alright. They're doing good. Some of them, like I said, okay, let's see. The buzz bait, the googan buzz bait, still in its original package, just because, well, I don't have any other way to transport this to and from all the places I've fished. I've never really had any success on buzz baits, but I like the color. I like the design. I'm going to keep fishing that. Next, I'm going to only show you one package of these. The Lunker Log rubber worms. These I feel like are really giving Gary Yamamoto a run for his money. These one day could really go head to head with Gary Yamamoto any day. So, okay, for the rubber worms, you googan boys, I'm giving you high praises, the highest praises I can think of, and it's to say, I think you're giving Gary Yamamoto a run for his money on that. Alright? Some of the other googan baits I've purchased, and I'm going to do a review on the spinner bait. Now, that little elastic, that little keeper, sometimes when you're banging this thing around on the rocks, it has a tendency to slide off and up the line, and it doesn't really change anything. It becomes more of like one of those pesky little nuances that you just work through. But it does do, when it stays in place, it's doing what it was put on there for, and that was to keep your line from sliding all over the wire. Now, spinner baits have been one of my favorites for years, just like the rubber worms. So I've got a couple of them. These are out there producing strikes. I'm landing bass. And they're holding up pretty well compared to some other brands. I've bought brands with the Bass Pro Shop logo. The skirts fell off. These are holding up pretty well. I've bought Lucky Craft fishing crankbaits that have fallen apart, came undone. Paint on that beat to hell. These are holding up. So again, just like the rubber worms, the googan bait spinners are top notch. I'm going to put them right up there with Strike King or Booyah, you know, because this is one of their baits that I'm impressed with. I'm very thrilled with the way it looks, the color, and everything that's important to an angler. Now, the Saucy Swimmer. In one of my previous videos, I believe it was the googan box. I believe those came in the googan box. I wasn't too sure about the Saucy Swimmers being used as a standalone item going on one of their hooks. Especially that 3.3 inch. I still stand by that. I think these Saucy Swimmers make an excellent trailer for your spinner. Now, in the past, I've never really used a trailer on a spinner, but I gotta tell you, that's a deadly combination. So, again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 items that I think googan baits is absolutely killing it on. Now, I fully intend to spend more time with the frog, because their frogs are attractive enough that the bass are at least acknowledging that the frog is in the water. Alright? They're jerk baits. I actually think I bought this one last year. Anyways, the bass are at least acknowledging that one in the water. Their version of the pop are, the bass are acknowledging that that's in the water. Overall, we've got 9 hard baits. We're going to call it 9 hard baits, 2 spinners, a buzz bait, 2 jerk baits, 2 frogs, 2 poppin' style lures, 1 jerk bait, and I've purchased all this through like Dick's Sporting Goods as either an individual item that I really liked the look of. Or the Motherload box. I believe that came in the Motherload box. Maybe it was their other one of their other boxes. So, have I changed my mind about some of their stuff? Yes. Do I still think some of their stuff looks like the fucking glitter fairy came down and played in Mom and Dad's factory? You bet your ass, because there's some of that shit. Some of these baits I won't touch because I think they look like the glitter fairy was playing in the factory, and some dope smoking dad said, "Hey, that looks pretty nice. Pass it off. Sell it at Dick's Sporting Goods." Alright. 21 minutes into the Googan Baits review. Let's finish with their hooks and their weights. Their weights, you know, you can't go wrong with weights. Their hooks, everyone claims they got the sharpest soap. And well, Googan Baits, these hooks are sharp. They will penetrate a bass. Okay, that's what you want the hook to do. You want it to penetrate the lip of a bass. So, their hooks, their crank baits, their spinners, their worms, their bandito bugs, I'm going to give an A+ rating. The rest, because I haven't, oh, I almost forgot their pencil popper. These lures are doing pretty well. Well, I mean, that one, you can see some scratches from the hook swing. It's not gouging it up, but you know, we're now 23 minutes into this review. Like the video, don't like the video, comment, subscribe. Okay. Good night.